95% of our life is coming from the programs of how to live life that we get in the first 7 years of life. And that's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich. The movie The Matrix is not science fiction. It's a documentary. Every human, and it's a fact, every human first 7 years is downloaded hypnosis. The brain of a child under 7 is in a lower vibrational frequency. When you put wires on a person's head, you read electroencephalograph, reading brain activity. A child below 7 has a lower vibration than consciousness. It's called theta. Theta is imagination. Oh, that's how kids play tea party with mud pies, but to them it's a real thing. A kid rides a broom, it's a horse. That's theta, imagination. Theta is also hypnosis. And the idea is this: before you can become conscious, if you don't have any programs, what are you going to be conscious of? So nature makes the first 7 years. What kind of programs are required to live on this planet? I say, how do you get them? Theta is hypnosis. You just watch. You watch your parents, you watch your siblings and your community, because you have to learn how many 100,000 rules. Think about it. Just to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community, there are rules. Teach an infant these rules. You don't have to. First 7 years, they observe it and just download it. And then I say, well, why is it relevant? Because this is the unfortunate fact. 95% of our life comes from those programs in the subconscious. Every day, only about 5% of their life are you using conscious, which is creative. 5%. And you don't see it because it's called subconscious, below conscious. And the Jesuits, for 400 years, they were boasting. People didn't understand. They say, give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. They've been saying that for 400 years because they knew 7 years was the program period. And 95% of your life after that will be whatever that program is. A child isn't functioning in consciousness until after 7. Before 7 is direct record. Whatever you just said, I just recorded it. So if the parent gets mad at the child, says, you don't deserve that, you don't deserve this, go. The child is not consciously understanding what you mean. Child just recorded, I do not deserve. Now, if I hear that several times, especially in an emotional situation, because that downloads it faster, now I'm 40, 50 years old. What is my behavior 95% of the time? And the answer is, well, it comes from the program. I do not deserve. Well, that means unconsciously I will sabotage myself to make sure that the program is correct. I'm making the program true by adjusting the behavior to meet the program. Look, this is not new. I mean, there's a famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and basically said you come from a poor family and you could struggle your whole life and try to get rich, but you're not going to make it. And if you come from a rich family, you could be stupid your whole life and make it. Not because it was thinking, but it was unconscious behavior that was downloaded from rich families into kids, which is unconscious. So they're making the right moves unconsciously. If they engage their conscious mind, then they look stupid, but it's unconscious. And that's the same thing with poor people. Poor people have beliefs from the family. Oh, you can't make it. Life's a struggle. Things are hard. Who do you think you are? And if that's the program you get, then 95% of the day you will sabotage yourself. And that's why poor people stay poor and rich people stay rich, because the programming. Before I put this knowledge into effect, and I use the word put into effect, why? I had the knowledge academically. It's like, oh my God, look at the research. What does it mean? I understood it from the level. And with all that knowledge, it didn't change my life. People read self-help books. I go, well, you read the book. You got a lot of knowledge. I say, is your life changed? No. But you got a lot of knowledge. And so here's the difference. The conscious mind is creative and can learn in any number of ways. Read a self-help book, go to a lecture, listen to this, and conscious mind's going to get some awareness. And I go, yeah, but subconscious mind doesn't learn that way. Subconscious mind learns in 2 fundamental ways naturally. Hypnosis, which is the first 7 years. And after age 7, how do you put new programs in? Repetition. Practice. You want to drive a car, you didn't learn how by just getting in the seat and put the key in. You had to practice driving the car. You want to learn the alphabet. How many times did you go from A to Z? Try to go to A to Z before you can complete it. And once you completed it, you didn't have to go back and do it again. So 2 phases. You want to train the subconscious mind, hypnosis, repetition. I like the last one because there's a new phrase that's bandied about.
Hey guys, just want to interject here real quick. See, the part about repetition, it's not only repetition of affirmations, it's also repetition of the presentation, okay? Repeating over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's a big part of it, okay? It's not just, I don't want you to think it's just, okay, I'm happy and grateful, I'm positive. That's a part, right? So that you get those, that mindset. You want to have that mindset. But also, look what he said about driving a car, right? You didn't put the key in and know how to drive a car. Okay, same thing with driving, riding a bicycle, swimming, right? Most things, right? It's repetition, repetition, repetition that programs it in. And once you're programmed, think about it, right? There's something called road hypnosis. I think that's the term that they use, right? Is that usually you're driving a car, you get to a destination, you don't even remember driving there, but you got there, right? Because you were under hypnosis the whole time while you were driving, because you could do it unconsciously. And that's what we call being unconsciously competent, okay? The way you become unconsciously competent is practicing something over sometimes hundreds of times, thousands of times, and that's how you become really, really good, okay? Let me continue.
I call fake it till you make it. Meaning, if you're not a happy person, I say, you want to be a happy person? Then repeat all the time, I'm happy, I'm happy. I say, well, you don't look happy or anything. You say, no, who am I talking to? By repetition, I'm talking to subconscious. If subconscious gets, I am happy, and 95% of your life comes from that subconscious, there will be a point once the subconscious got, I am happy, you don't have to say it again. It'll be automatic. It's repetitive. That's the secret part. Putting a
That's the key. Once your subconscious mind adopts it, that's it. It's installed. It's a new program. It's already there. And then guess what? You start to feel better, think better, whatever it is. Now you got to maintain it. Okay.
sticky note on the refrigerator is more like a suggestion, but it's not a repetition. So it doesn't work very well. Repetition is a habit. It's making habit. So you got to do something religiously in the sense of repeating it to make it work. Every night when you go to bed, just when you're falling off into sleep, consciousness is disconnecting. The next period of your brain operation while your consciousness is disconnected is theta, which is the same brain function as in the first 7 years. So if you put a pair of earphones on at night with a program of what you would like to be true in your life, as soon as your conscious mind disconnects, that program is playing. It's not playing into your conscious mind. That's shut off. It's now going straight into the subconscious mind. So it's called auto-hypnosis. You don't need to go see a hypnotherapist. You just...
Tomorrow, we're going to show you how to create your own auto self-hypnosis audio. We're going to teach you how to do that tomorrow, okay?
Have to figure out what program would you like to have that you don't have. 95% of your life is coming from the subconscious. Your life is a printout of your subconscious behavior. Oh, so you don't have to try and think about what happened. I just say, look at your life. The things you like that come into your life come in because you have a program that supports them. But anything you struggle with, work hard at, put a lot of effort into making it happen, why you're working so hard, inevitably you have a program that doesn't support that conclusion and you're trying to override the program. So you don't need to do a lot of shrink and psychology stuff. You just look at your life and say, where am I struggling? Because wherever you're struggling, inevitably it's a program in your subconscious that does not support that destination you've been looking for. I had to deal with the issue of teaching medical students and going into the classroom. Teaching conventional curriculum is the old genes control life story. And so I go in there and teach that to medical students. But when I'd go back in my lab and look at my research on stem cells, my research revealed conclusively that the environment in which the cells live determine genetic activity. So it's complete opposite of what I was teaching in medical school. And the difference is profound. The conventional story, almost everybody's programmed with genes turn on and off, and then they control the character of your life. And if you buy that story, which I did and which I was teaching, it really means that we're victims of our heredity. We didn't pick the genes as far as we know. You don't like the traits, you can't change the genes, and the genes appear to turn on and off by themselves. All of a sudden you see your life is not under your control, it's under the control of the genes. And a lot of people feel that way looking at their family history and going, oh my goodness, I might have the genes for cancer or whatever it is. Since consciousness is involved, if once I feed you with an idea that you are susceptible to something, look, I can feed you with an idea that this pill that we just got from the pharmaceutical company, it's the greatest, best thing for your issue. And I give you this pill and you get better. And then later you find out it was a sugar pill and everybody goes, yeah, that's called the placebo effect. And I go, what does it really mean? You didn't get healed by the pill. You got healed by the belief in the pill. Well, yeah, that's what placebo is all about. And at least 1/3, minimum of 1/3 of all medical intervention is, it's the placebo effect where the healing comes from. Everybody goes, yeah, I know about the placebo. I go, yeah, but that's a result of positive thinking. What about negative thinking? And this is what we don't talk about, but the reality is it's equally powerful in regard to affecting your biology as is positive thinking, but it works in the opposite direction. A negative thought is called the nocebo effect. Can cause any disease and you can die. If you believe you're going to die, you can die from the belief. Here's a simple fact. Stress causes at least up to 90% of doctor visits. how can stress do this? And the answer is very simple. Stress causes a hormone called cortisol to be released in the body. So what does cortisol do? Number one, it causes the blood in the viscera, the guts, where maintenance of the body and healing comes from all the organs. It causes the blood vessels to shut down because it pushes the blood to the arms and legs. Why? Stress means you're ready to run, fight or flight. So you push the energy to where you need it, arms and legs. Well, where do you get it from? Well, you squeeze the blood vessels in the gut. Well, this is growth. The viscera is growth. That's what the organs are for. Arms and legs are for protection. If I'm in protection, I shut off growth. And more importantly, stress hormones shut off the immune system. The reason is just energy. The idea is if you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger and you have a bacterial infection, how do you want to split the energy? How much energy you want to run away and how much you want to fight the immune, with the immune system? The answer is the hell with the bacterium. I mean, if the tiger catches you, the bacteria is useless. That's meaningless, So when you're in stress hormones shut down the immune system to conserve energy. Does the immune system use energy? Of course. If you've ever been really sick, you never even got out of bed, you have no energy. And if you're in fight or flight mode, you need the energy to deal with the world. So stress hormones physically shut off the immune system. When you're under stress, that's when sickness starts to show up. In fact, it's so good at shutting off the immune system, doctors give patients who are going to receive a foreign organ, a graft of a kidney or a lung or whatever they're grafting, that's foreign tissue. If you put a foreign organ in your body, your immune system's job is to eliminate it. So as they're transplanting an organ, they give the patient stress hormones at the same time because stress hormones will shut off the immune system so the organ won't be rejected right away. That's how effective it is. It's used therapeutically to shut off the immune system. Yeah, but everybody out there in this world right now, with a small exception, is under some level of stress. Every one of those people is dripping stress hormones continuously in their body, and those hormones inhibit the immune system. And the result is illness. And if you stop the growth, you say, yeah, but I'm an adult, I don't need to grow. And I say, yeah, but you have to replace hundreds of billions of cells that you lose every day. So we really have to watch out because, as psychologists will tell us, 70% or more of our thoughts are negative and redundant, replaying the same negative thoughts. I go, if thoughts had nothing to do with it, fine. But thoughts, positive or negative, shape our biology. And all of a sudden it says, well, now it's time to wake up because our negative thinking is manifesting a negative life experience. But it's not just me saying this. It was me saying this when I first started doing this work in 1970. And my research was repeatable every day. I could take stem cells are embryonic cells, so they have no potential until you put them in an environment. And then depending on the culture medium, by the chemistry of the culture medium, I can make the cell become a muscle cell, change the culture medium, make the same cell become a bone cell, or change it again and make the same cell become a fat cell. And genetically, the cell is the same. It was the environment that I was changing. And I started talking about that long before the new science called epigenetics had come into vogue, which was 1990. So I was like 20 years ahead. And of course, for much of that time, my colleagues looked at me like I was a crazy guy because everybody knew the conventional dogma. And I was, coming up with a whole different line of belief about it. And now it's come into mainstream. The only problem is this: when you invest so much money into a belief system, and then a belief system isn't really right, you try to hold on as long as you can because if you spend hundreds of billions of dollars in this belief, you don't want to just go, oh, okay, we'll just change it. So it's a struggle, but the reality is coming forward and the public is just becoming aware of it. And it's a revolution because if you believe genes control your life, you're a victim of your heredity. When I say epigenetic control, almost sounds the same, but epi means above. So when I say epigenetic control, literally it's control above the genes. And this is what we now recognize, that the environment, and very specifically our perception of the environment, changes our genetic activity. So that means, well, wait, that's not a victim because I can change my environment, I can change my perception, and all of a sudden, if I can do that, then I can control my genes. Well, we're going from victim to mastery, from genetics to epigenetics.
Wow. Guys, I don't know. That's a video worth watching 10 or 20 times so you really get it, because he basically is telling you has nothing to do with your hereditary. It's we control our genetic growth. We control if we're sick, if we're healthy or not. Okay, let me put on the next video I want you to watch. It's all combined with this. We're going to be a few minutes over. Don't worry. No worries. Hold on. I got to stop first. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Now, we're going to tie this into a little 2-minute one here that I want you to watch. Watch. And she explains to you a little bit more about what he's showing in a different way. Okay, she's a hypnotherapist. Check this out.
Hi, I'm Debbie Katz. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I have a master's degree in social work. In 1996, I was trained and got certified as a clinical hypnotherapist. And now, I'm going to help you to understand the simplicity of hypnosis. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis, unbeknownst to most people. We are all in hypnosis every day of our lives, at least twice a day. So even though we hypnotherapists use the term, I'm going to put you into hypnosis, but you know what? We really can't do that unless you want to go, because all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. But I'm going to demystify hypnosis for you and show you how you are in hypnosis every day of your life. This is a picture of our brain waves. So now we can see, through medical technology, we can see our brain waves. And if we were to look at the inside of our brain, like right now as you're watching this video, we're usually going to be in the beta state. The brainwave is pretty quick, as you can see. And when we get home, we sit down, listen to some quiet music. We go into the alpha state. You can see the brainwave is beginning to slow down. Then we crawl into bed at night and we begin to drift off to sleep. If you've ever almost been asleep and you feel yourself falling and you jerk and you wake yourself back up, that is a state of the theta state, which is hypnosis. So
Remember, that's exactly what Dr. Lipton said. It's during theta that you're able to put new programs in, because your mind, your brain waves go into hypnosis. That's the time to do it. Okay? As I said, tomorrow we're going to show you how to create your own so that you're able to do it.
Every night on the way to sleep, we are going through hypnosis, which is the theta state, where we're almost asleep but not quite. And then we drift off into sleep, which is the delta state. Then in the morning, if you're lucky enough that you don't have to wake up to an alarm clock, as you come back, you'll probably, if you think about it, be aware of when you're starting to come back, you're not totally back yet, come back up, back through hypnosis again, theta, and then back up to the waking state. So you can see we're naturally in hypnosis at least twice a day. It occurs naturally every night. It also occurs in daydreaming. Most of us daydream. Daydreaming is a state of hypnosis. You've probably experienced driving. If you've ever driven on a long, boring road in maybe a rural area, and you're driving, and you get to your destination, and you look at your clock and you say, how'd I get here so quickly? Well, you weren't driving with your conscious mind. You were driving in hypnosis. You were in a state of hypnosis and you were driving in it. So we experience time distortion when we're in that hypnotic state. So as you can
Okay, also, and one more I want you guys to see. Now, everybody play along here. There's going to be something you're going to do. And for those of you that are doubters, I know we got some doubters here. It's okay. For those of you that are doubters, that is a bunch of hokey pokey stuff. I don't believe it. All right, now we're going to prove it to you beyond the shadow of belief, beyond the shadow of a doubt. So everybody, stop what you're doing. I want you to do this exercise. Okay, hold on. Let me get on camera here. Everyone here, okay, if you're listening to my voice, please stop what you're doing. You're going to do a little bit of an exercise with a licensed hypnotherapist. He's going to be on video. He was on TED Talks, TED. You want to hear some of the most intelligent, some of the people that are the best in their field. It's a place that Elon Musk has spoken. I mean, the top entrepreneurs, the top most intelligent people, they speak on TED Talks, TED, TED Talks. Go to YouTube. You can learn a lot, okay? Anyway, I looked him up, and watch what he's going to make you do. He's going to make you do it, okay? So stay with me here and watch this. So everybody, stop writing, stop being in your phone, stop social media, stop doing whatever, and check this out, okay? Guy's also a very good communicator. Communicates really well. Pay attention. Matter of fact, watch how good he communicates. It's excellent.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Dan Candell, and I am a hypnotist. Now, before you all get really freaked out, I want you to know I'm not going to make you quack like a duck. I'm not going to make you cluck like a chicken. And most importantly, I'm not going to hypnotize you to make you hand over your wallets and money to me. So you can rest assured. But I would rather teach you something very, very important that you can use. And that is how to really take control over your life. You see, I'm going to teach you something tonight that I've actually been using since I was in 7th grade, and that is the ability to hypnotize. I want you to ask yourself what it would be like if you had this ability to hypnotize. What would you use it for? Now, most of you are probably thinking about how you would use it on somebody else. But tonight, I'm going to be teaching you how to use it on yourself, how to hypnotize yourself so you can achieve and accomplish your fullest of potential. You see, when I was in 7th grade, I had a learning disability, and I stumbled upon this tool called self-hypnosis, and I actually hypnotized myself to get better grades. Now I teach it to people, over 70,000 people all over the world I've taught this craft to help them learn how to gain control of their lives, feel more empowered, inspired, and accomplished. I've used it now to help athletes, business people, and students just like yourselves. So ask yourself, if you could accomplish something better, what would you do? What could you use it for? Ask yourself, if you just started thinking a little bit better, how you could achieve your fullest of potential. So when I teach you this tool, when I teach you self-hypnosis within the next 9 minutes, I want you to develop a better picture of yourself and ask yourself what you'll be able to accomplish. If you're a student, maybe you'll be able to get better grades, eliminate exam anxiety, or to develop a superpower memory. If you're in business, maybe you'll be able to do better, be more productive, and as a result, make more money, which everybody loves money, right? Absolutely. But what I really want you to realize is this. It all starts with how you think. You see, I find that many people go to bed stressed, and they wake up worried and anxious. Raise your hand if you have ever gone to bed stressed and woken up anxious about something. Absolutely. Every single person here has. I find that's a big problem in today's society, because when we're not thinking good about ourselves, we're not feeling good. And when we're not feeling good, we're not doing good. So what I want to teach you is how to control your thoughts and program your mind much like you would program a very high, efficient, powerful computer. Would you like that? Yes? Okay. So before I teach you this tool, I want you to know that you're already telling yourself something that has programmed you. You've been exposed to programming, in essence, hypnotized, since you exited the womb. You have been exposed to programming not only by society, not only by religion, not only by advertisers, not only by your peers, your parents, but also by yourself. So you are already telling yourself something that is creating a thought, and that thought creates a feeling about yourself, and that feeling then creates an action, and it can also influence your body. Now, we really do become what we think about. If you picture this, you're walking into school, and you have a test to take that day. Your teacher the day before told you that it was going to be the most difficult test you've ever taken. So now you have that in your mind. You've created that thought, and you're thinking to yourself, no matter how much you study, you're destined to fail. Unfortunately, a lot of people are sending those messages to other people outside of their realm. It's time to control it, to eliminate that external program, and to learn how to start programming ourselves, to start thinking better so we start feeling better, to start feeling better so we start acting better. And it really is congruent. So now I'm going to teach you how you all become what you think about. So I want you to follow along with me for a moment. If you can, take your hands, clasp them together.
Everybody do this, everybody do this.
Take your 2 index fingers and put them out just like that. Wonderful. As you do this, I want everyone to look at me for a moment. Now, in a moment, I will count forward from 1 up to 3. On my count of 3, I want you to do 3 things. And don't worry, this isn't going to put you to sleep or cast a spell on you. But on my count of 3, I'd like you to separate your 2 index fingers, look at them, and then listen to my voice. When you do, you're going to see something absolutely amazing happen. Get ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Separate your fingers, look at them. They're going to touch. Imagine what it would be like for 2 rubber bands attached to your fingers, pulling them closer and closer together. Imagine what it would be like for magnets to be attached to your fingers, pulling them closer and closer together until they touch. That space between your fingers gets smaller and smaller. It may happen slow, it may happen fast. But when your fingers touch, you can take them apart. They'll actually touch faster the second time. Watch as it happens now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can take your hands apart. I know it's a freaky feeling, but shake your hands out just like that. Good.
Who had their fingers come together besides me?
Oh my God, this is not right.
Cool, right? Right? Throw a yes in the chat. If he got you to do what he wanted you to do, throw a yes in the chat.
Oh my God.
Now, ready? Here's the funny thing. I already knew what he was going to do, and I couldn't stop him. I was trying. I was like, oh, and he kept moving me. That's how powerful programming is, and learning how to control your thoughts, which control your actions, okay? So let's finish up with him. This is just to prove to you, this ain't no hokey pokey thing. What we think about and what we program causes us to take action, okay? So let's watch him.
If that worked for you, you've just been hypnotized. That's it. That's all it is. I find that people have this fear about hypnosis, that they think it's actually mind control or the work of the devil. They think that it's sleep or being unconscious. But you go into hypnosis every single day, several times a day. If you drive, think about this. You're driving to your destination. All of a sudden you zone out. You end up at your destination. You don't even remember how you got there, right? That's called road hypnosis. How about this? You see somebody texting on their cell phone. You walk in, that person is so focused on that text message, you start talking to them, but they have no clue what you're saying, right? That is hypnosis. Hypnosis is just a natural, altered, zone-focused state, and I'm going to teach you now how to use it effectively and efficiently. At night, as we fall asleep, we go into a natural zone state, a natural receptive state. And just like this exercise that you just did, where you thought about something and it happened, you see your thoughts became congruent with your bodily functions and actions. The same thing is true at night when you fall asleep. When you fall asleep, you go into a natural receptive state. So I say, let's use that receptive state. For the last 5 minutes as you're falling asleep at night, instead of worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow or being anxious about what's going to happen next week, I want you to think of what you would like to accomplish to be better. I'd like you to make a little movie in your mind of what the ideal you would be like. Now, if the ideal you sounds a little intimidating, just think about what you want tomorrow to be like, how you want tomorrow to go. If you have something that would otherwise stress you out, let's say maybe going for a job promotion or going for a job interview, maybe going in to take a test, exam, or quiz in school, and you think naturally or normally that you'll be stressed out about that, see yourself at night as you fall asleep going into that job interview with your head held high, and imagine what it would be like for you to walk out landing that job. If you're taking a test in school, imagine walking into that testing room, filling out the exam to the best of your abilities, using that as an opportunity to show what you know, and walking out knowing that you did well. When you begin to formulate these pictures in your mind, you have a better chance of things going that way. As you fall asleep at night, you go into that focused zone state. So my friends, I tell you today, let's use it. Let's start thinking better about ourselves. And when we start thinking better, we'll start feeling better. When we start feeling better, we'll start doing better. When you do this technique at night, and it only takes about 5 minutes, that's all you have to do, but it's only for the people who really want to do better, right? And you all want to do better, don't you? Absolutely. So what I'd like you to do is just practice this. Try it out. Make it a ritual. For when you fall asleep at night, make a little movie in your mind of how you want tomorrow to go, or how you want to be as your ideal self. It could be a goal that you have in mind. It could be something that you'd like to just accomplish and do better at. But when you play that picture over and over in your mind, it will be more likely to become your reality. And then thus, you have hypnotized yourselves. That's it. Hypnotize yourself into being better, doing better, feeling better, and thinking better. So ladies and gentlemen, I tell you today, when you do this exercise, and this is an exercise I've been doing every night since I've been in 7th grade, and it works. Once you do this exercise and you make it a nightly ritual, you'll notice within about 2 weeks, you'll start to feel more empowered, more inspired, more confident, and more motivated, and more productive. Maybe you'll be getting better grades. Maybe you'll be making more money. Maybe you'll be getting more work done a lot easier, quicker, and faster. I teach this same technique to athletes, to business people, to help them achieve their full potential. And to the casual observer, hypnosis might look like you're putting people to sleep, but by doing this exercise, what you're actually doing is awakening a part of your mind. And as a result, you're also awakening within you hidden skills, attributes, resources, and talents that you might not even know that you have had at your disposal. And you can start using those for your benefit. So I tell you tonight, you can program yourself at night for what you want to do tomorrow. You can awaken your mind, and as you awaken your mind, maybe you'll even change the world you're living in. Thank you.
Really awesome. All right, team. Well, listen, start putting this into practice. I'm going to put both of those videos, okay, Dr. Bruce Lipton and Mr. Candell in the groups, okay? I'm going to put them in the groups. Here's what I recommend. If you got some value out of this, throw some fire in the chat. If you got some value, you learned something new today, you learned a new skill set, you learned something that you feel is going to help you. If you feel it's going to help you, throw some fire in the chat. Well, guess what? Repetition. Okay, I keep watching those 2 videos over and over and over again. Watch those videos over and over and over again. Okay, and I promise you, you're gonna understand it. The first time you watch it, you may not really understand it, but after you watch it a few times, you're gonna go, "Oh my God, I can actually take control of my life." And that's what I want for you. I want for you to take control of your life, not just financially, but in your health, in your relationships, in every single area. I want you to take control of your life, because this is not just about making money, okay? I'm on a mission for us to get financially free, but I'm on a mission for us to really empower ourselves, because if we empower ourselves, we're going to be able to empower a lot of other people, our family and friends and everybody we come in contact with, okay? Have a blessed day, okay? See you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to show you how to create your own self-hypnosis tape, okay? I'm going to put these in the group. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.